seriously, but I have no idea.
Okay. Another random idea of chunking. We mentioned a little bit earlier about studying the 50s, came up with this random figure, 7 plus or minus 2 pieces of information can be held consciously. The way that we can make use of this 7 plus or minus 2 and make it work well is by using different sizes of chunks. What does that mean? Well, anybody notice that phone numbers are 7 digits long? And that we actually break them into 2 groups. We have the first 3 that are pretty common, then we have the other 4. So, now we actually have 2 chunks to deal with. And we can have 5, 6, 7 more things going on. Big chunks, or chunking up, is looking at larger pieces of information as a whole. Chunking down is getting further into the specifics. So if we look at the very smallest chunks in a phone number are the individual digits. Bigger chunks are, some people memorize the whole number. I mean, they know it and it goes because they call it so often. So it's a chunk. Most people have the area and then they remember maybe 4. So now we have 5 pieces. Still reasonable. What if we take a look at a random textbook? We can look at it as a chunk. It's a psychology textbook. Or we can chunk down and say, oh, it has these chapters, and we can look at these concepts going on in these different chapters. Or you can get it down to, in this paragraph, in this sentence, this word says. We can look at an object, a truck. That's a pretty big chunk. We can get a lot more information out of that. A Ford truck. 1990 Ford truck. A gray 1990 Ford truck. A gray 1990 Ford truck with extended cab. You can keep going ad nauseum, keep adding more and more chunks, smaller and smaller chunk size, lots of detail thrown in there. How does this affect our students? Well, some people have a tendency for starting with big chunks and then filling in the details. A lot of people start with details and then possibly, eventually, build the gestalt picture of what's going on. I gave you guys printouts. The big chunkers probably flipped through, looked at what was going on, then went back and potentially wrote some notes on there. Small chunkers been furiously writing notes the whole time, and may eventually make a picture of the whole thing, given time. So, we can be conscious, we can give the possibilities for either direction when we're interacting with students. We may find that we tend to talk in big chunk ideas. We want the overview. We just give them, oh, here's broad strokes. And we find that the person we're talking to wants very specific details. Another of those rapport-breaking moves that we can clash on those sorts of things. So, we have more things that we can be conscious of for the moment, and then once we drop it out of these conscious data points and let it go unconscious and just do these things, which is our goal, it will continue to make all of this go smoother and smoother. So, next